book up wide and meet adventures that wait for you. Live and learn and laugh and play whenever your dream comes true. You could swim along the river all the way to the sea. You could fly up in the sky above the clouds and trees. You could plant a flower garden up on top of the moon. You could swing through the jungle all afternoon. Wherever our story takes us, I can't wait to see. Yes, friends, come and read with me. It's online story time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Online Storytime at your Grand Rapids Area Library. I'm Miss Tracy.
I'm Grandma Pat.
And we are so excited to have you with us today. Hey, Grandma Pat, before we start talking about one of your very favorite things in the whole wide world,
Yes.
should we sing?
Okay, sing.
Storytime friends, would you join us? And remember, the song says clap your hands, but you could clap your elbows, you could clap your eyes, you could clap whatever you wanted. Here we go. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. And I can't wait for today's stories. So Grandma Pat, what are we going to talk about today?
Oh my gosh, the weather is so beautiful outside. You can take walks and hikes and everything else. And you might run across some flowers. Love flowers.
So beautiful.
Oh,
Flowers are popping up all over, and some of the very first flowers that we see are dandelions.
mhm.
And right now, there are dandelions all over the place. And oftentimes, we don't see dandelions in northern Minnesota until more towards the end of May. And today, it's just the middle of May, and they're all over the place.
Crazy. The bees are gonna love them.
That's right.
All of the, and one of the books we read today is going to be about how flowers are saying, hi there, come and help me. I've got a beautiful color, and I've got nectar, and I've got everything for you, so you can help me make seeds. That's what we're going to learn today.
That sounds like a fabulous book. All right, should we get to it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I love flowers, but did you know that flowers talk? We have a book about flower talk, how plants use color to communicate. And this is by Sarah Levine, and the illustrations are by Masha Dions, and it's from Millbrook Press in Minneapolis. Flower talk, how plants use color to communicate. And communicate means to talk to each other. Hey, you. Psst, down here. That's right. I'm a plant, and I'm talking to you. But don't get too used to it. We don't make a habit of talking to humans. I want to clear up some of your crazy ideas about what the colors of our flowers mean. We sit here growing, minding our own business while you guys go on about how red roses stand for love and white ones are good for weddings and all kinds of mushy, ridiculous stuff. What a load of fertilizer. We're not using flowers to send information to you, so bud out, okay? We use our flowers to talk to animals. Why? We need some help down here. What would you do if your legs were stuck in the ground your entire life? How would you eat? How would you drink? How would you get your pajamas on? We can take care of some things ourselves. We get our food with help from the sun, and when it rains, our roots slurp up water. But we need help making our seeds, our babies. What's more important than that? Without seeds, there'd be no more plants. We'd be finished, kaput. To make a seed, we need pollen from different plants of the same type. How do we get that? We can't just waltz over and take some. That's why we need animals. Notice they're all flying animals. Here's what we do. We trick them into carrying it for us. We're nice about it though. We pay them a little something for their efforts. Well, usually. How do we get them to help? We advertise. We hold up big signs. Our flowers are the signs. They say, "Come on over. We have a special treat for you." And believe me, they come. Who wouldn't, especially if they're hungry? If we're in luck, they can bring along some pollen from a flower they visited earlier. Do they know they're doing this? Who knows? And who cares? It works. Everybody's happy. All those plants, all those birds, butterflies. Wow. So what's the deal with the colors? A flower's color invites specific animals to visit. You seem like a bright kid, so I'm going to let you in on the conversation. Then maybe you could do me a favor and tell other humans about it, okay? Oh, I'm gonna find out something. Red flowers are usually talking to birds. The red flower's message is a top secret one for birds only. Most other pollinators are insects, and they can't see the color red. A red flower says, "Hey, hummingbird, over here, carry my pollen, and I'll give you a sip of nectar." By the way, red flowers don't have much of an odor. Birds have a horrible sense of smell, so why bother making perfume for them? Blue and purple flowers talk to bees. Bees need flower pollen to feed their babies. They have special pockets on their legs to carry it home to their young. But some pollen always gets stuck on their bodies and passed on to the next flowers they visit. Blue and purple flowers are saying, "Yo, bee, can you help me move some of this pollen and take some home for the kids?" See, we can be thoughtful too. Yellow flowers are also talking to bees. Bees are our top helpers. I heard that scientists just figured out that bees have 3 favorite colors: blue, purple, and yellow. Took you guys long enough. We've known this for ages. That's why so many of us make flowers in these colors. We like the reliable help. Here's what a yellow flower says. "Bees, bargain basement this way, free food." Some white flowers talk to moths and bats. Moths and bats fly mostly at night, and when it's dark outside, what color shows up best? White, of course. White flowers are like giant signs that say, "Hey, come get your free nectar here." White flowers also put out perfume as an extra guide to help those animals find them. Frankly, I don't care for it myself, but I guess to a moth or a bat, it smells pretty good. Brown flowers often talk to flies. Here's what they're saying. "Get a whiff of our perfume. It's stinky just the way you like it." This is true. Brown flowers reek like something dead and rotten, and flies need to lay their eggs on dead things so that their maggot babies will have something to eat when they hatch. I know, so gross. But a brown flower doesn't help a mama fly at all. She gets drawn in by the stench And there's no meat there, just a flower tricking a bug into doing work for free. The flower gets pollen, but the fly gets nothing. The only rotten thing around here is the deal. Green flowers aren't talking to anyone. Are they just shy? No. They don't talk to animals because they don't need help. Their pollen is carried by the wind. Plants with green flowers are just green all over because they don't need animals to notice them. Would you bother getting dressed up if you didn't need to? I know I wouldn't. Do animals only go to flowers that are their favorite color? No, but usually they do. For example, butterflies are drawn more to a flower's shape than its color. Butterflies like a steady platform to land on and tubes filled with nectar to sip with their long, curly tongues. They visit flowers of many colors, but even butterflies have favorites: white, purple, yellow, pink, red, and orange. That's a lot of favorites, don't you think? It's been good chatting, but it's time for you to leave now. Go take a hike. I'm pretty busy in case you haven't noticed. I'm making a new flower. It's going to be yellow with a nice roomy platform. Just about done with it. But before you leave, do you want to guess who I'm getting ready to talk to next? Oh, plant with a platform? What did he say? Yep, butterflies and bees are going to visit. So that's flower talk.
Storytime friends, Grandma Pat.
Yes.
Are you ready for a flannel board?
Oh, they're so pretty.
Aren't they? Here we have 5 little flowers and they're growing in a row. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, do you want to count them backwards? Me too. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forwards and backwards. All right, so we're going to talk about what the flowers need in order to grow. Because the flowers need 3 important things. One of the things they need is soil to grow in. And we're going to talk about the other 2 things they need for our during our flannel board today. All right, here we go. 5 little flowers growing in a row. The first one said, "We need rain to grow." The second one said, "Yes, we need water." The third one said, "It's getting hotter." The fourth one said, "Look, there are clouds in the sky." The fifth one said, "I wonder why." Then boom went the thunder, and zap went the lightning. The springtime storm was kind of frightening. But were the flowers scared? No, no, no. They knew they needed rain to grow, grow, grow. And there they are, getting the rain that they need. So what are the 3 things that flowers need to grow, Storytime friends? That's right, they do need rain. And we talked about, they need soil. What's the third thing? You are right, they need sunshine to grow. So sun and rain and soil will get us beautiful flowers. Hey, thanks for playing.
Our next flower book is called My Garden by Kevin Henkes. And it's brought to us by Green Willow Books. find out about my garden. My mother has a garden. I'm her helper. I water, I weed, and I chase away the rabbits so that they don't eat all the lettuce. It's hard work, and my mother's garden is very nice. But if I had a garden, there would be no weeds, and the flowers would keep blooming and blooming and never die. In my garden, the flowers would change color just by thinking about it. Pink, blue, green, purple, even patterns. And if you picked a flower, another one would grow right back in its place. Pick, 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 pick. No flowers. Look at that. Wouldn't that be great? Birds are happy. In my garden, the rabbits wouldn't eat the lettuce because the rabbits would be chocolate and I would eat them. If I planted seashells, I'd grow seashells. If I planted jelly beans, I'd grow a great big jelly bean bush. Sometimes in my garden, good, unusual things would just pop up. Buttons and umbrellas and rusty old keys. In my garden, there would be birds and butterflies by the hundreds, so that the air was humming with wings. The tomatoes would be as big as beach balls. And the carrots would be invisible because I don't like carrots. At night, the morning glories would stay open, shining like stars, and the strawberries would glow like lanterns. It's night now. Only the fireflies and the porch light are glowing. Before bed, I take one seashell from the shelf in my room and go to the garden. I poke the seashell into the ground. Who knows what might happen? I cover it up with dirt and pat down the dirt with my foot. "What are you doing?" asks Mother. "Oh, nothing," I say. "Just working in the garden." My garden.
Hey, Storytime friends. Hey, Grandma Pat.
Yeah.
Do you want to wave a scarf?
Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome. Okay, Storytime friends. Out of your Storytime kit, I'd like you to find your scarf. I'm going to let Grandma Pat use the green one.
Oh, my favorite.
And if you don't have a scarf, what else can you use? You could use some Kleenex or a washcloth or even a sock. You can use anything that will allow you to wave it. All right, are you ready? Because I think we're going to start with our warm. Did you hear something? Grandma Pat, did you hear something?
I thought I did.
Oh my goodness, we have a lot of things that. Oh, of course. Storytime friends, Giraffe would like to join us today. Hello, Grandma Pat.
Yo, Giraffe.
Hello, Storytime friends. Oh, Giraffe, I am so delighted you could join us today. I love it when you're with us during scarf songs. Giraffe can sit right there in his cozy spot. All right, do you have your scarf out? Let's do our warm-up first. Here we go. My scarf goes up, My scarf goes down, my scarf goes around, 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 around. My scarf goes in, my scarf comes out. My scarf flies about, 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 about. Woo! I'm gonna move Barry back a little bit because we're about to nail Barry with a scarf. All right, Barry, you just scooch right back there. Okay, here we go. Should we do it again? Can we do it faster? All right, let's do it. My scarf goes up, my scarf goes down, my scarf goes around, 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 around. My scarf goes in, my scarf comes out, my scarf flies about, 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 about. Woo! Oh my goodness, that was fast. All right, now I would like us to turn our scarves or our socks or our washcloths into a flower. All right, so what we need to do is we need to scrunch it up into a tight ball and put it in our hands. Can you see how my scarf, if you look like this, you can see it a little bit, but you want to hide it in your hands because we're going to let our scarves bloom into flowers. Excuse me. This is how this goes. Here we go. Here is a green leaf, and here is a green leaf. And that, you see, makes two. Here is a bud that makes the flower. Watch it bloom for you. Isn't that beautiful? Should we let it bloom again? All right, here we go. Here is a green leaf, and here is a green leaf. And that, you see, makes two. Here is the bud that makes the flower. Watch it bloom for you. Oh my goodness, you have such beautiful flowers. I love it. Okay, let's do one last scarf song, and this is called Will Our Flowers Bloom? Okay, and we're gonna start with seeds from a package, and we're gonna put them in the ground, because remember the ground, the soil, is one of the three things that flowers need to grow. All right, the seeds from the pack go in the ground, in the ground, in the ground. The seeds from the pack go in the ground. Will our flowers bloom? All right, we got some soil for them. How about some rain? The rain from the sky goes drip, drip, drop, drip, drip, drop, drip, drip, drop. The rain from the sky goes drip, drip, drop. Will our flowers bloom? Okay, we have the soil and we have the rain. Do you remember the third thing we need? That's right, we need the sun. Here we go. The sun above is bright and hot, bright and hot, bright and hot. The sun above is bright and hot. Will our flowers bloom? Okay. Our little seeds are sprouting fast, sprouting fast, sprouting fast. Our little seeds are sprouting fast. Look! Our flowers bloom. And now we have beautiful flowers. Hey, Storytime friends, thanks for playing. Oh, Storytime friends, Grandma Pat, I had such a good time today.
Yes.
I loved doing the flannel board with you, where we saw the 5 flowers in a row and we learned the 3 things that flowers need to grow. They need soil, they need sun, and they need rain. And they had all of that. And you know what I just noticed? When we put the flannel board down here to remind you of it, look at my shoes. They're almost the exact same colors as the flowers on our board. So I'm going to be thinking that all day today. I'm walking through a flower garden with beautiful blooms on my feet. And then we heard about flower talk. Isn't that outstanding? How flowers can communicate, can tell people things just through the colors that they are.
And just how red flowers don't need a lot of scent because the birds can't smell them anyway.
So fascinating.
Yes.
And then we grew a beautiful garden in my garden. It's such beautiful flowers. But now, my friends, I think it's time for us to go. What do you think about that, Grandma Pat?
You know, I never liked this part, but
I know.
if we don't go, we can't come back.
Well, I guess that's true. And it would be pretty boring if we just kept going and we just sat here.
Yep.
Okay. Storytime friends, would you join us in our last song? Okay, here we go. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Story time is done today. Now it's time to go and play. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. I'm going to smell some flowers.